in the transport providers, particularly in the shipping industry. No? I remember when a ship tragedy happened 2 years ago, and the shipping company was grounded. We received a lot of complaints from Western Mindanao because the shipping company was the only one servicing the area. So we must open up more competition for that, give more incentives for the shipping industry to come in. We also have to take advantage when the time is right of air cargo. I mean, the Philippines is perfect for that because we're an archipelago. We need more airports, not merely to provide transportation of goods and people, but also for disaster response. Oftentimes, the air is the only way you can service a community, particularly in cases of rough seas or bridges which have fallen down.
Nori, before the break, I have two quick questions. And I think some others also have this idea of a question that I have also. One is, in your stint as a public servant, did it ever occur to you that one day you will be gunning for the presidency? And second, in the event that you become the president of the Philippines, what are your programs of government in the first 100 days?
Sa una pong katanungan, Pastor, marami hong nangyari sa aking buhay na hindi ko naman talaga inambisyon. Katulad po nung una po, no, ako po'y naging kabataang barangay president sa Tarlac at saka sa Region 3 at the age of 15. And ang balak ko sana at the age of 22, may local election na mangyayari. That would have been 1985 or 1986, I believe, kung hindi natawag yung snap election. Ako na sanang isa sa pinakabatang gobernador dito sa Pilipinas. Ngunit napasok po ako sa law school. Kasi sabi ho ng aking lola, kung di daw ako mag-law, wag na daw ako umuwi sa probinsya dahil kahiya-hiya lang daw ako. So, pagpasok ko po sa law school, tinigil ko ang politika totally. Kinalimutan ko muna. Nagtrabaho po ako sa isang napakagaling na abogado at mentor, si Attorney Estelito Mendoza. Trabaho po ako sa kanya. And then, nag-masters po ako sa Harvard. Wala po talaga ang politika. Tapos, nainganyo po akong umuwi ng aking ama. Doon na po sana ako eh. Nainganyo po akong umuwi ng aking ama at nagkaroon ng opportunity na tumakbo sa first district ng Tarlac, yung distrito po namin, dahil bakante. So, nabalik na naman po ako sa politika. So, naranasan ko na po yung nasa taas, tapos nawala sa poder, sa taas, nawala sa poder. Tapos, so, after yung stint ko sa Kongreso natapos ng 9 years, eto na naman yung opportunity. Dumating na naman ho, dahil nakabakasyon po ako, binigay po ako, ng tawag si Secretary Ermita na ninombrahan nga ako ng ating Pangulo. So, yung presidente ho, minsan, syempre, may nanloloko na balang araw, baka maging presidente ka. Pero, nakita ko na po ang maraming tao na ikinasira talaga yung sobrang focus sa isang pwesto. So, talagang hindi ko po dinidibdib. Hanggang sa ngayon, dyan po sila Governor Dominguez, masasabi nila yung road eh. It was really, really very random. No? Yung sa first 100 days po, there are several programs that have to be ongoing and that you have to introduce naman po. First and foremost, of the new programs you have to introduce is basic education reform. Mm-hmm. And that is a very, very delicate and difficult subject but necessary to do. Because the finding of the Basic Education Committee or Commission that was formed, headed by Father Benvenido Nevres of Ateneo, is that Philippine high school graduates, whether from the private schools or the public schools, are not aligned with international standards because the curriculum is limited. We have to add more items to the curriculum. And we cannot continue to graduate uncompetitive high school graduates. It's fooling ourselves. Secondly, we have to reintroduce or introduce some educational instruction in the preschool level. Because the first 3 years of the age of a child is very formative. In China, for example, Pastor, 2 years old pa lang ang isang bata, tinuturuan na mag-computer, tinuturuan na mag-Ingles. So, napaka-tindi. I cannot imagine yung stress nung bata, no? Because to learn Chinese alone, which is memorizing 2,000 characters, is already difficult. What more? Another language, no? So dito ho, kailangan we must introduce a way yung mother tongue concept with the need to learn another language at the soonest possible time. Because English is the language of the economy, it's the language of technology, it's the language of science. And unfortunately, we have to stress science and technology in basic education now. Secondly po, you will have to use your first 100 days of goodwill as a window for infrastructure and investment opportunities for the country. You'll really, really have to showcase your public infrastructure plan and your investment climate decisions. No? Thirdly, you'll have to set the record straight. You will not compromise with criminals and terrorists. No way. That is a basic that you cannot do. Fourthly, I will really continue with the reforms that have been undertaken doctrinally in the armed forces of the Philippines and in the Department of the National Defense vis-a-vis resource management. Fifth, I will try to institute, together with Congress, together with the Department of Health, in accordance with the study that was made by the Institute of Public Health, I believe, of UP and the Department of Health, universal participative healthcare coverage. That's expanding mandatorily for all Filipinos, PhilHealth, and trying to stop the gaps there. Fifthly, we'll have to have, depending on the situation, come June, as to the situation of our farmers, we'll have to intervene. There's a drought, no choice, we'll have to intervene. Kailangan ng conditional cash transfers, kailangan ng assistance. Kasi po, pag may drought, mawawala na naman ang ating mga magsasaka ng ilang buwan ng kakainin at kailangan patawirin po sila. Ay, napaka-selan po nung issue na yan. Dapat ituloy rin natin ang irrigation program natin. At ito po, ito pong panibago ko pong hamon sa Department of Agrarian Reform na kailangan meron tayong sustainable agrarian reform. With the vision na dapat wag nating panatiliin na peasant ang magsasaka. Kasi po, tanungin nyo magsasaka ngayon. Sa palagay ko, sa 7 sa 10 na magsasaka, itanong nyo, bakit ka nagpapagod? Isasagot po sa atin para yung anak namin hindi na maging magsasaka, makaahon. Pero what does that speak for our long-term food security? Pag napakita natin ang ating magsasaka, ayaw na nila yung mga pamilya nila na pumasok. Wala na magsasaka, i-import na tayo ng i-import. And the only way you can do that is to reduce the amount of physical labor, and that is to mechanize. And the only way you can mechanize, as I feel, is to have an economy of scale, particularly in rice and corn. And so you will have to turn our farmers into agricultural entrepreneurs. So much so that they earn enough money to have a life other than agriculture. And that you can only separate yourself from that if there's a tool between you and the field and not your own body. I could be wrong, but that's a paradigm which we must free ourselves from. And as I learned, it's certain crops, a hectare of land is enough to make you an agricultural entrepreneur, but certainly not in rice, not in sugar, and not in corn. No. You'll have to find a way how to approach it sustainably. Ang problema po natin ngayon, sa tingin ko, acquire ng lupa for distribution na ang nabigyan naman po natin ay hindi natin nasusuportahan ng lubos. Sa katunayan, 42 bilyones pesos ang utang ng ating agrarian reform beneficiaries sa ating pamahalaan. Kailangan ilista na lang natin sa tubig yan dahil hindi na tayo mababayaran. At hindi naman tayo pwede bigay ng bigay para lang panibagong utang. Ang mga pinagbigyan na ng lupa, we must make them succeed. We must. Wala akong rason. Ngayon, ang sa akin naman po, paano dapat may after agrarian reform, may certainty ka na. Na, for example, ang isang magsasaka, binigyan ko ng 3 hektarya. Siya ay kumita. Normally, ang unang gagawin po niya, bibili ng lupa na naman para naman magka-economy of scale siya. Makabili na siya ng traktora. Dadagdag po ng dadagdag. That's human nature eh. Ang ibig po sabihin natin kukumpiskahin na naman natin sa kanila. Isa pa pong halimbawa. Dito po sa Central Mindanao, marami po dyan, tiga Tarlac, tiga Pampanga, tiga Nueva Ecija. Ano po yung mga yan dati? Dating mahok. Dinala ni President Magsaysay sila dito sa Mindanao as